Page 44.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et
ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit
olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam u'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. Happy birthday to you.
Page 46. We'll turn the page 46. The Tefillah, the central series of blessings, is on the right-hand pages, again with interpretations on the left-hand facing page. We'll sing the opening blessings together. Gosh, I was struck by the figure of Benjamin. Benjamin is the youngest child of Jacob. He is described as the child of Jacob's old age, and Jacob dotes on him. He is the full brother of Joseph and the half-sibling of all the rest. As one of the 12 sons of Jacob, he eventually becomes the patriarch of one of the 12 tribes of Israel. But in this week's Torah portion, little Benjamin is still the pawn in everyone else's drama. When his brothers go down to Egypt to beg for food, they meet the crazy governor. Little do they know that the man behind all the Egyptian makeup is Joseph, whom they have presumed dead. The disguised Joseph demands that they sell their youngest brother, Benjamin, into slavery in exchange for the food, testing them to see if they will commit the same sin they once did against him. This time, the brothers refuse. Judah, the leader of the brothers, offers to trade places with his younger brother. Take me instead, he insists. In other words, everyone is fighting over Benjamin. Benjamin, meanwhile, is silent. He does not have a speaking part. When I was first contemplating the symbolism of Benjamin, I was thinking that the 21st century has been pretty rough on childhood. Shooter drills at schools, climate crisis projections, Zoom classrooms, isolation, masks, separations at the border. These are challenges in the United States we did not have to go through. Now, however, when we look at the war in Gaza and Israel, a whole new level of horror arises. The Benjamins of the Middle East are also young and silent, and too often they are used as pawns. I am an unapologetic Zionist and have strong political beliefs, but tonight I am simply speaking from the heart about children and the future they may face. Alyssa Rosenberg, reporting for the Washington Post, has written passionately on this subject. In Israel, every child knows how to run for a bomb shelter. Think about that. Today, a child from southern Israel in the towns attacked on October 7th have been moved to a hotel room where entire kibbutzim have been relocated. The school-aged children population of the Dead Sea region swelled from 500 to 3,000, she reports. Many have lost their parents, their kindergarten teachers, and their homes. However, because whole towns were evacuated together, some teachers have returned to the classroom to give their students a sense of normality. But the children who are among the hostages in Gaza are facing a different kind of unspeakable nightmare, if they are still alive. Like Judah in the Torah, their adult family would trade places with them if they could. As for the Palestinian children, their nightmare in Gaza is going to get worse because Israel cannot stop until Hamas is no longer a threat and all hostages are accounted for. Israel must defend itself and finish this war on its own terms, but we must not be indifferent to suffering. Multiple things can be true at the same time. There is simply no way to fight this kind of urban warfare and keep October 7th from happening again without harming a great many civilians on a much larger scale. As always, the children in the thousands suffer the most. Rosenberg writes, "The most pressing issue is simply to locate children. Many in Gaza are alone when they pass through checkpoints or show up at hospitals, leaving them at yet more risk. In Gaza, there are no children," said Palestinian Children's Relief Fund founder Steve Sotheby, speaking to the devastation young people have seen and experienced. There are physical children, 2-year-olds running around among the rubble, but no one experiencing childish innocence or normality. UN schools are sheltering 1.2 million people, making formal education in the area largely impossible. They need dedicated and sustained mental health care. Ensuring that children have a loving caregiver is key to their rehabilitation. In early December, 900 children in Gaza had fresh amputations, often performed in the worst of conditions. They might need more operations to have prostheses refitted as they grow. Similarly, pediatric burn victims lacking skin grafts will need further surgery to manage scar tissue. The thing kids need most to recover from conflict is the thing conflict itself undermines: stability. I hasten to add to Rosenberg's article that Palestinian children also need to be given a real education and not indoctrination. If you watch broadcasts of Palestinian television, including children's TV, it is full of hatred of Jews. Hamas and other terrorist groups have taught that living alongside a Jewish state is impossible, and killing Jews is the only way. It is a form of brainwashing. Since the early 2000s, after over 50 years of offering a two-state solution and being rebuffed, Israelis have largely given up on peace with the Palestinians. Palestinians are viewed as barbarians at the gates, and October 7th proved them right, not just against Israel, but against their own kids. Children get used as human shields. Children are brought up to be suicide bombers. Children are used to help build tunnels. All of this is done in the name of becoming martyrs to free Palestine. It is understandable to feel powerless, but Israeli leaders have pledged that this war must be transformative for Gaza and the Israeli-Palestinian relationship. Let's take that rhetoric seriously. After the war, and it is going to be a long time until then, rebuilding must prioritize a new generation. What I hope and pray is that the world not only invests in children's bodies and mental health, but also teaches them not to hate. What would happen if the money Israel invests in settlements and subsidizing ultra-Orthodox yeshivot instead went to organizations like Seeds of Peace, Encounter, Hand in Hand, Parent Circle, and the Israeli Religious Action Center? What would happen if we took investing in education toward peace seriously and saw it as a matter of national security? In Judaism, the territory of the tribe of Benjamin was the land upon which the temple was built. Benjamin included Mount Zion, and that site is the place for God's house and the meeting point of our religions and our future. Everything depends upon how we treat Benjamin, not as a pawn, but as a person. Benjamin may not have a speaking part, but we must speak up for the children. We must retain our empathy and humanity even as we struggle. And one day, says God, my house will be a house of prayer for all peoples. Shabbat Shalom.